So the first thing that you must understand is what exactly is a personal brand. Let's clear up the confusion right away. A personal brand is not a logo, it's not a fancy website, it's not a perfectly curated Instagram feed with color coordinated posts like how most people think it is supposed to be. Your personal brand is simple. It is what people say about you when you're not even present in the room. When someone hears your name or maybe stumbles across your profile, do they think, oh, this is a smart founder or a sharp lawyer or a relatable or reliable CA or a creative designer? Or do they think, not serious, just another wannabe on the internet, just someone average? That is the difference, what separates people who attract opportunities from people who chase opportunities endlessly. And here's the real kicker. You don't control whether you have a personal brand. See, you already have one. The only control you have is whether it is accidental or it is intentionally designed to actually present you just like how you want to. Now, why is it important? We live in an attention economy, and attention today is the most valuable currency in the world. Every major opportunity, whether you're looking for a job, funding, clients, even relationships, flow through attention. Think about it. Why did Aman Gupta from Board actually became a household name almost overnight? Shark Tank gave him that attention, and suddenly he wasn't just like the headphone guy. He became a face of Indian entrepreneurship. His brand is now worth far more than his company alone. Can you actually imagine that? Now, why do people line up to buy books and courses from, let's suppose, someone like Ankur Warikoo? It's not because he's the only entrepreneur with the insights out there, but Warikoo built trust at scale. His personal brand makes people believe if he's actually teaching or he's actually worth listening to. Think about it. He makes content for the youth of India. And by the time they actually grow up, which financial influencer will they remember? Even in cricket, Virat Kohli didn't stop at being one of the greatest players in the Indian history. He turned his name into a fashion with wrong. Whether or not the brand is flying today, one thing is clear. Kohli's attention became leverage to enter an entirely new industry. Just to share with you a simple example, one of my colleagues and our head of product here at UAbility, Jayant Padi, if you go to YouTube and search for his YouTube channel, you would find that his YouTube channel isn't like having those silver play buttons or the golden play button or whatnot. He barely has approximately 20,000 subscribers, which honestly is a good deal for a lot of people, but not a big deal in the influencer industry. Now, despite having such a small channel, he averages around about 1,000 to 2,000 views per video, which according to a lot of standards of YouTube creators, that is on the lower end. But you know what a surprising part is? I was actually talking to some of my customers the other day, customers who had paid us lakhs and lakhs of rupees to actually invest in our advice and services. And you know what they told me? They said, Rohan, just by watching that one video by Jayant or one video on your YouTube channel, I actually decided to join UAbility and decide to enroll for your advice and services. And what was surprising was that you do not need lakhs and millions of views just like how other people tell you to. You just need a few quality views and have the right messaging and the right kind of personal brand attached to it. And when you do that correctly, you will actually attract people who can pay you the kind of money that you deserve and would allow you to actually succeed a lot. Another example that I would like to share with you is one of my clients, Shubhankar. This guy is a 18-year-old chap, still probably in school. And this guy, again, has approximately 35,000 followers on his Instagram profile. But you'd be surprised to know this 17, 18-year-old kid did approximately 8 lakh rupees in cash collected last month by selling his agency and advice services. You know why? Because the people who watch his content are not the general masses and whatnot. They really resonate with Shubhankar's personal brand and then DM him personally in order to know more about the same and also work with him by paying him lakhs of rupees. So the fact is, you don't need millions of followers or views. You just need the right views and you need the right followers and the right kind of personal brand if you want to succeed this year and the years to come. So that's the difference. Personal brand isn't about being famous like how most people say. It's about being positioned in the right way in front of the right people. And here's what's scary. In 2025, this isn't optional anymore. Employers literally Google you before they decide to hire you. Investors back founders that they trust, not just business that might be lucrative. Customers buy from faces more than logos. Whether you like it or not, you already have a personal brand. The only choice is, are you going to design it or you going to let it design on your behalf by default? So choosing your platform is important. Once you know your intention, the next step is pretty obvious. Pick your platform. Now, here's the truth. Nobody tells you you don't need to be everywhere. In fact, trying to be everywhere at once is the fastest way to actually fail. Go where your people are already present. Let's suppose you are selling to professionals on LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn beats Instagram for sure. If you are in fitness or lifestyle, Instagram and YouTube will definitely win because you're going to attract B2C clients. If you're in tech or startups, X, which is formerly Twitter, and LinkedIn are your playground. Do not make the mistake of overcomplicating it. Pick one platform, go super deep, and make sure that you perfect it and be consistent. And here's another filter. Play to your strengths. If you love writing, start with LinkedIn or X. If you're comfortable in front of the camera, go for YouTube or Instagram Reels. That work really well. If you hate showing your face completely, start with a faceless YouTube channel or an anonymous X account. In fact, I recently recorded a YouTube video that talks about how you can use AI in order to create faceless YouTube channels. Go check that out right after you're done with this video. A front-facing personal brand will always outcompete a faceless one. So be brave, try to put your face out there. You'll be surprised how fast people will resonate when they actually see the real and authentic you. Especially in this world where everything is done with AI average. Position yourself. Now, let's talk about positioning, the heart of your personal brand. Positioning answers one simple question, which is, why should someone actually remember you? Because too many people try to be a little bit of everything. And that is the fastest way to be forgotten, which sucks. The people who actually win are super specific and really authentic. I help startups scale without burning cash, or I teach new moms safe fitness routines so that they could get in shape, or I make real estate investments simple for young professionals. That one-liner literally becomes your brand anchor. And the sharper your positioning is, the easier it is for people to actually slot you in side of their mental database. And once you actually own that mental space, opportunities will literally flow naturally for you. Just to give you an example, for me, I had the opportunity to consult every single business owner that you can imagine. But I decided to be super specific and go only for coaches, consultants, agency owners, and service providers. Why? Because the more specific you are, the better your reach will be. So creating content that actually builds trust, because this is where most people actually freeze. What do I even post? Forget about going viral. Forget about chasing the latest trend. Think about that one thing only, which is value, and value. Content doesn't need to actually make you famous. It needs to make you actually trust and build that rapport with your audience. And value can take many forms. For example, you can share your lessons, you can share tips and tricks, you can tell your personal story of how you decide to overcome an obstacle. You can even show your own process or recipe regarding how you go about doing something. You can document wins and failures honestly. The more authentic you are, the better it would be. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is to actually show up consistently as someone with real and useful value that you're providing to people. And here's the magic. When your content builds trust, you unlock something called as negative cost of acquisition. But when your personal brand brings in leads organically, not only are you not paying to acquire clients, but the platforms themselves often pay you for the views that you're getting. It's kind of like the holy grail, getting paid to actually attract clients. Authenticity, impact, intention. Great content on three pillars Authenticity, impact, as well as intention is really, really important. Authenticity is about showing up as yourself, not some fake person. People resonate with journeys, not superheroes. Share the process, not just the results. Impact means solving problems. When someone consumes your content, do they actually walk away with a new perspective, an answer, or even just a spark of motivation to take any kind of action? Intention keeps you aligned. Are you attracting the right kind of audience, or are you just chasing vanity metrics like views? If you focus on these three pillars, growth literally becomes inevitable. Just to give you an example of the same, think about this. Alex Hormozy, one of the biggest influencers on planet Earth, he did nothing but value with his audience for 5 to 6 years straight. And he was just impacting so many lives. And do you know what? He had absolutely nothing to sell to people other than the portfolio of companies that he was building. One day, very recently, he decided to do something called as a book launch for his latest book called as $100 million offer. And what ended up happening is thousands and thousands of people attended that thing live. In fact, Guinness judges were actually present there as well. Do you know within a span of 2 to 3 days how much money did Alex Hormozy actually make? He made upwards of $100 million by selling his book, which is just behind the top Harry Potters out there. Okay, this means this book, because of his personal brand and by him just being super authentic and sharing value for 5 6 years straight, allowed him to not just do upwards of $100 million within a span of 2 to 3 days, but also have one of the best selling books on planet Earth. Isn't that crazy? And that is what personal brand allows you to do. Small audience, big impact. Now, here's a misconception that most people carry, something I addressed earlier in this video, but I need to emphasize. I need millions of followers to succeed. Wrong. You don't need a massive audience. You need the right kind of audience. 1,000 true followers who trust you are worth more than just 100,000 random likes. In fact, a real estate agent doesn't need teenagers following him. He needs serious buyers who can actually buy and afford his property. Or maybe a fitness trainer doesn't need millions of men following her aesthetics. She needs a few hundred women who are actually ready to transform and take her advice or services. It's not about numbers. It's about the right kind of alignment. And that's the secret of micro personal brands. They don't chase fame, they chase trust and profit per follower. For example, I could actually make a viral video right now of maybe me slapping some kid and going viral. But would that actually allow me to reach the right kind of audience? Probably not. In fact, I would get sued. So what actually matters is creating the right kind of content for the right kind of people, just like how I did for you. And by you watching this video, my hope is one day you would be so impressed that you would decide to actually become one of our clients. And that is my intention and my goal. My goal is not to be famous. It is to attract the right kind of people just like yourself. Personal brand as an asset. So now let's zoom out a little bit. What exactly is a personal brand really? It's not just content. It's not just a perception. It's kind of like an asset. Just like owning a property or stocks, a personal brand appreciates in value over time. The more consistent you are, the more trust you actually end up building, the more leverage you also gain. And unlike property or maybe stocks, nobody can actually take that away from you. Maybe jobs can disappear, companies can collapse, startups, they can fail. But the attention and trust that you've built under your name, guess what? That will stay forever. And that's why in 2025, building a personal brand is not a nice to have thing. It's the smartest investment you can make in yourself. So let's bring it all together. You already have a personal brand. It's just the world's perception of you. The question is, does it really help you? Or does it hold you back and stop you from growing? In today's attention-driven economy, this is the most valuable asset that you can actually build. And if you don't design it intentionally, guess what? It will design you by accident. And that is something that you do not want. So get clear on your intention. Pick your platform, shape your positioning, and create content that actually builds trust, most importantly, with the right audience.